Monster girls in popular media tend to be hit or miss, with representation ranging from cool and unique to normal girls with different ears. So when I heard of a series that promised culture designs and extensive world building, I had to check it out. But does Interspecies Reviewers live up to the hype? More importantly, is it based? Having aired in 2020, I've known about it for a while but never committed to watching it until a Buggy the Clown cosplayer recommended it to me in our doujinshi aisle. It follows a human named Stunk and an elf named Zell as they try different monster girl brothels and rate the experience from 0 to 10. As nearly all brothel workers are part succubi, there's no exploitation involved. Already pretty based. This isn't a plot recap, so I highly recommend checking out the show for yourself. It's really funny. I too am a self-proclaimed expert rater of women, so I will critique their critiques while trying my best to hold back any jealousy. To do so, I have created a scientific device that will accurately measure how much I agree with them. The bastometer. Even NASA scientists want their hands on this bad boy. Despite how sciencey this device is, there's a lot of bias involved, so I will do my best to account for preference and different tastes. For example, Zell is monosexual, but I don't know what that means. All good science needs a peer review, I think, so let me know what you think in the comments. Subscribe too, please. Let's get to know our adventurers with our first review, The Elven Inn, featuring an old elven hag and a refined older human woman. Also joining us for the review are Bruise and Concho, beast and halfling friends from their favorite tavern. The hag gets a 9 from Stunk, as 500 may be old, but she's still hot. A 0 from Zell for being older than his mother. A 5 from Bruise, only moderately old. Finally a 2 from Concho, so old. From me, a 7. I'm so brave for liking an older girl who still looks and sounds and basically is a normal adult. Elves are a little boring though. Thanks Stunk, you get me. The fine older woman gets a 2 from Stunk, too old. A 9 from Zell with her incredible youthful mana. A 7 from Bruise, aged like fine wine. And a 3 from Concho, so older. A 3 from me too. I actually don't like big human age gaps. I'm a fraud, I'm sorry. Here I'd normally say, thanks Concho, you get me, but he's a psycho, so I'm not doing that. Overall, I find this rating to be moderately based. As a critic, even if everyone deserves love and respect, you must be honest with yourself. Kinda like how Simon Growl gets a bad reputation for rating harshly. The one from the movie Pup Star, not to be confused with any real-life faker. Afterward, our heroes slay a big monster to save Crimvale, an angel with a broken halo. The rare angel can't return to heaven without their halo, so he joins in the meantime, but only so our duo can eventually get access to heaven for some angelic baddies. Crim's not like them though, he's a pure being. Onward to Meow Meow Paradise is the perfect first experience. No review needed, we all know cat girls are the best. These reviews are a source of income for our party, and the addition of the cute Crim boosts the female fanbase into covering more costs for more reviews. Infinite money glitch? Except not actually, so Crim works at the tavern along with Maidry, a birdmaid who hates all of them for their prudeness. But not really. Who doesn't love a birdmaid? Yeah, it's birdmaid brothel time. Birdmaids have wings and the ability to make cute chirp sounds, and their weakness is the back of their neck. Stunk gives them a 9 as he can play an orchestra with their chirps. Zell a 9 because they're very forward. Grim a 7 because they're a bit too submissive, and Narugami a 3. Who the hell are you? I will give them an 8 because I am totally part of the gang and I love harpies. Overall, these ratings are very based. Sure, the overt submissiveness can be an issue, but they seem loving regardless. Next up are Doggone Girls, octopi with heavy tentacles and a smothering nature. Stunk gives them a 7 for slipperiness, Zell a 6, the suctions are a little painful, Ponchal a 4 cause they're too heavy, and an 8 from our demon friend Samton because, I don't know, the text got cut off. I gotta go with a 6 as well. Even if tentacles are good, I'm so physically weak I wouldn't come out alive. I'd say this is slightly unbased. Even if my rating is lower, I think they should be generally higher. The suction proves to be a type of massage, and if you aren't frail, then obsession is a rare lucky find in a place like this. Then we got Fairy Girls at the Nectar Brothel, but size matters. You gotta get it up in front of your bros to pass inspection. Stunk rates it at a 3. With a bigger size, he only gets the bigger fairies. Zell a 7, apparently not too different from a doll. I'd only get a 7. Conchal a 9 because small like small, and Crim a 0 because none can handle the almighty Crim. And no refunds. Truly, the importance of size differs in time and place. I rate them a 7, but the show doesn't discuss how there's so much you can do with them without size even being a factor, and because of that, I'm getting a reading of unbased. Maybe Demon Girls would be better? Oh my god, Cowgirls. Cowgirls, you know them, you love them. Stunk rates them a 7, could be a bit leaner. Zell an 8 for big boobs. Bruise is lactose intolerant. Santan a 9 for big behinds. Me a 5 because it's just too comically big. But I respect it, and therefore my bastometer is reading very based. Our next brothel is a gender change inn. The gimmick here is pretty clear, however there's a variety of different species at your disposal this time. Stunk and his elf Yuri experience got a 5, Zell and his slime girl an 8, Conchal and his sadistic halfling a 4, and Krim with his hyena girl a 9. I'm not in the show so I can't speak for the experience, but if I run the calculation in my head, I'd give it a 9 too. Not just for the novelty, but for the variety too. It's a new experience every time. Unfortunately, Stunk's disliking of Yuri makes the basedometer drop to very unbased. The rest are understandable, but you ruined it. Up next is the Lilim's Frenzied Frolic, a huge cage with low-level demons that pay to be there. Survive and you get to be with the receptionist, so it's worth it. But you can't survive, it's impossible, it's torture. 1, 0, 0. They almost died. 7 from me. Nah, I'd win. 3 weeks of recovery needed. Slightly unbased here, I get that those mortals are weaker than myself, but come on. So many eager demon girls. For a more relaxed experience, enjoy the Fire Dragon's Barbecue, with salamander girls so hot you can use them as a grill. Definitely too hot to touch, so bring a fire potion and count your minutes. I'm too broke for that, and only Krim is fire resistant, so it's truly an unjust world. He gave it a 9 though. Fiery gals tend to be the most passionate. I probably would too if I could, cause passionate is good. At least he is very based. If you like big things, you'll love the Big Eye Club, for big eyes. Cyclops! Most customers prefer when they are big, but they have smaller eyes too for more refined tastes. The Small Eye team of Stunk and Zell both gave a 7, because there's value in shy and humble for even the average Joe. The Super Big Eye team of Conchal and Krim gave them a 4 and a 7, because even if the girls were nice, it's not their thing. If I had to pick a side, it'd probably be the Small Eye team. Both are about equal to me, but shy is cooler. How about some mushroom girls? There's so many different types that I'm sure there's one you like, or spin a wheel and find out. Stunk got many slimy girls, but not slime girls. Big difference. He rated the experience 8 for getting many girls with no extra cost. Zell was given big girls, but only for their big mana. Damn you monosexuals! For him it was a score of 8, even if he realized each girl was probably just one hive mind. Lulu, a fairy and fellow reviewer, got a whole army. That was a 9 because the receptionist's recommendation was on point. No one has any idea what to do about Krim, so he gets the unusual one. Krim gave her a 9 because she was sweet. How kind. All high scores, this is very based. Monster Girl media tends to depict mushroom girls as creepy, which makes sense, but I'm happy to see some sweeter representation. I also love to see puppet representation. Woohoo! At this place you can customize a living doll in every which way. Great for the creative types, but there's pre-made ones if you're stuck. Now how do they rate my fellow species? Whoa, all high scores. This makes me proud because I give them a 10. Except they all made Majory dolls. All the options in the world and you make a real person without her consent. That ruins everything! Soiled it! Soiled it! Soiled it! I'm disappointed to give a very unbased here. Well, the narrator does agree with me that this is bad, so I guess it's based again? Who knows. The shiny will-o'-the-wisps are a much simpler experience, even providing a built-in sensor for the bashful types. Thanks to this censoring, they do it out in the open. And there's no rooms, so say hi to John right next to you. Stunk gives it a 7 because it's a bro bonding activity. Zell a 5, too expensive and censored. Conchal a 5, the girls are all the dense type. Krim a 0, hates the exhibitionism. I'd agree with a 7, but only alone and in a faraway town so no one recognizes me. This is a fair, neutral base, no complaints really. The next location I have to skip because there's no possible way that YouTube would allow it. So enjoy this cute owl receptionist instead. I humbly apologize. Back to the reviews, it's time for the boss's evil lair, a roleplay place where you can pretend to be evil in a safe environment. So safe that the show gives consent reminders every second, which is pretty based. Stunk gave it a 7, could be fun, but depends on the rotating options. Zell a 7, the outfits were a bit random. Conchal a 6 because the acting kinda sucked. And lastly Krim a 5 because he prefers a more vanilla experience. I gotta agree with Krim here, I'd probably feel too guilty as well. Everyone's fine here, except Conchal, that's too harsh and I will beat him to death for it. Neutral based overall. What about a more classical experience? You can't get simpler than the original succubi. They can transform to be more in line with preference, although there's already a ton of them, and it's fairly cheap. This seems too good to be true, so let's look at our reviews. Stunk gave it a 7, good for getting energy out. Zell a 5, the post-clarity was too strong. Bruise a 6, too exhausting. And Krim a 7, they were a bit scary. I'd give it an 8, the ease of attaining physical preference is wonderful. All around pretty middle of the road reviews, because it's too good. It sets your standards too high. Not bad for fellow broke people though, hence my high rating. This is slightly based for having a more realistic consequence of succubi. Onward to Necrowife, an undead joint funded by Dracula. He's here too. Undead are unfortunately unpopular, but us enlightened individuals can see past that. Stunk gave the cute receptionist a 6, since she should be great, but the smell is bad and the body is cold. Zell and his Jiangshi also a 6. The hopping is fun, but she has a strong bloody taste. Bruce, poor Bruce, could only choose the skeleton due to his sensitive nose. A 3 for him, but at least she had fun. Dracula and his vampire get an 8 because with his incredible skill, he knows that they have no drawbacks. Grim, wait, he's not supposed to be here. He went to a witch inn by himself and gave it a 9. So based. We love witches in this channel. The undead team though, even if I am an undead lover myself, I understand the drawbacks, so they can stay neutral. This next one is actually a whole city, the Magic Metropolis. It's filled with magical doll clones of the Archmage who runs it. 3 days of doing anything in a cool city, no wonder why it has a perfect score from every reviewer who has gone. All heroes are the same. Stunk gave it a 10 for the girl being not only hot, but cooking yummy food too. Zell a 10 for teaching him advanced magic at a cheap price. Kanchao a 10 for getting to be Kanchao, I guess. And lastly, Krim a 10 for providing the girlfriend experience of going on cool dates. And I have to disagree. A 0 from me. It's perfect, but too perfect. Sure, getting to pretend to have a girlfriend for a few days sounds nice, but wouldn't that best be saved for the real thing? I like how the normal brothels have a clear boundary and more personality. This just ruins my mentality. Therefore, this is very unbased. That's just me though, I guess I am a harsh critic after all. Oh well, more fairies time. With these leprechauns, you get drunk and get on with them. That's kinda it. Something out of 10. I don't know out of 10. Based out of based. Make sure to watch your tab. Get ready, cause it's finally time for demons. Not cowgirls, not Lilims, demons! Yes! They come in all shapes and sizes, but share the blue to purple skin, horns, and wings they are known for. By all shapes, I mean all shapes. However, they love contracts, so your words matter. Stunk and Zell gave them a 7 for the simple quality, Bruce a 7 for having big girls, and Conchal an 8 for having girls his size. I'm with Bruce here, I want the 3-meter demon girl, but that's a 9 score from me. Absolutely based. Lastly, we have the place of your dreams, those of Dream Eaters. They repeat your favorite experience in a lifelike dream, the perfect all-around place, but you kinda need experience for it to work, so we are out of luck. Yes, we, but not our heroes. Stunk and his clone doll got a score of 9, Zell and the older woman also a 9, Conchal and the birdmaid also a 9, but Bruce and his absolute favorite polar bear girl gets a 7 because it still doesn't replace the real thing. Then we have Krim with his ferocious hyena getting a 7. I have nothing to draw from, but it'd probably be the puppets. Those were my favorites, and so for being the exact same, this also gets a 10. Super awesome base. And those are all the reviews. That's it from me. Please don't be mad at my critiques, such as the lifestyle of a reviewer or connoisseur or cultured, I don't know. Subscribe